It is Bones, this is the Necro Zoo, and this is your weekly haul. Now, I know everybody's getting ready for the 4th this week. Been pretty busy, but as always, I do have time to hunt for movies. So, let's get into it. First up, the 4K of the week is Goodfellas. Now, I did get this at Best Buy. I love this movie. Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta. Awesome movie. Whenever I see this on TV, even though I do own the DVD releases, the Blu-ray, now I got it on 4K. Whenever I see it on TV, I end up watching the whole movie. So, really happy to add this to collection in 4K. Awesome movie. Long movie, but well worth it. Tells a good story. Of course, it's a true story based on the life of Henry Hill, who was a part of the mafia. Can't say enough about this movie. Directed by Martin Scorsese. Very good film. I'm not too much into like mafia and gangster films, but I every once in a while I will enjoy one. So this has to be up there in my top 5 gangster movies of all time. So pretty cool to add it to the collection. Awesome. I picked up Return of the Living Dead Part 2. This is brand new. I got it for $30 online. It does have the slipcover, so that was cool. I missed this when it came out. I do own the first one, the Return of the Living Dead Collector's Edition. You gotta take into account that the first movie is slightly more horror and realistic, even though it does have like comedy. But this one takes a right turn and just goes completely for a lot of comedy and things you wouldn't believe. But there's a lot of cool spots in this. You have 2 actors returning from the first one, which is kind of weird for me. When I was a kid, I always thought that was kind of like not needed. But they do have Don Matthews and that old guy, what's his name, James Karen. So I do remember watching this like on HBO and stuff, or I think even on VHS, but I never really liked it as much as the first one. But it's pretty cool on its own. You have a cameo by zombie Michael Jackson, which is pretty funny. The Tar Man looks pretty crazy compared to the first one. This is a pretty cool movie. One thing I always remember, that I don't know if it's just my brain or if it was true, but I always remember that when Don Matthews' character bites that redheaded girl's head, for some reason I always remember that like he's biting her head and then she starts making like, I don't know, like sexual noises, I guess. And on the DVD it doesn't do that. I don't know if you get the VHS, it might still have it in there, but in the extra features on this disc, maybe it'll talk about where they change the sound or whatever. So, but that's how I remember it when I was a kid. But I don't know if they changed it or what. I know there's different things about the soundtrack and stuff like that. But pretty cool to add to the collection, and I'm gonna get into this one. Cool. Now, this is a movie that a couple months ago I went to a party with my friends, like a house party, and they were eating and drinking. I was just there chilling, you know, and they started saying, you know, let's watch a movie. Like somebody turned on the TV, and even though everybody was like mingling and not really paying attention, they put on the TV. So they put it on Netflix and they put this movie on. Well, I was over here trying to watch the movie while everybody was, you know, trying to party, I guess, and they wouldn't let me finish watching it. Like they were like talking, you know. So I always wanted to, I mean, even though I do have Netflix, I could watch it, but I want a physical copy because
I'm sick like that.
So I went ahead and ordered The Ritual on DVD. This cost me, I think, $11. for me, it's well worth it to own a physical copy that I could watch wherever, whenever I want. Don't know the actors in this, but it looked pretty cool. It was pretty well shot. Like the opening shots were like awesome. The monster was pretty crazy looking. But I'd really like to sit down and watch it again, like, you know, by myself with no distractions. So picked up The Ritual. Kooky. Now, I knew this was around, but I remember one time saying, oh, they made a sequel to Screamers, the one with Peter Weller, the original Screamers. And I saw it online and I was like, $10, I could order it, but maybe I'll just wait. And sure enough, all these DVDs I picked up for $1. So this was one of them, Screamers, the sequel. What's it called? The Hunting. So this one has Lance Henriksen. Don't know much about it. It looks like they find how the Screamers were like reproducing themselves, and now they're trying to make like human bodies. So pretty cool. Check it out one day, you know, maybe do a double feature with the original Screamers. So that was Screamers, The Hunting. Cool. Now I love this movie. I have the second release of DVD, and then I have the Blu-ray of this movie, but I do not have this classic original cover DVD, which is Jacob's Ladder. It came with the insert, which was pretty awesome. You have Tim Robbins in here, awesome actor, Elizabeth Pena. This is like one of the first movies where you actually, where they showed like that camera shot where like, but I remember this being the first one that I saw like that. And then after that, like a lot of movies would have that in them, 13 Ghosts and all that stuff. So for $1, I was more than happy to pick this up. This is nice and clean. I mean, it's like brand new. Like I said, it had the insert, and even though I have the other DVD version and the Blu-ray, I was very happy to pick this up. Pretty cool. Jacob's Ladder. You got a young the kid from Home Alone in there, Macaulay Culkin. You got a young Macaulay Culkin in there. Pretty cool. Now I own this on Blu-ray, but I did not own it on DVD. So for $1, I went ahead and picked it up because I love me some witch action. And this movie wasn't that great, but it was produced by Guillermo del Toro. Mama. Pretty much the witch effects in here are pretty cool. It was an okay story. I think probably my favorite line is where the girl's looking outside and she says, "The lady's coming," and then she's like, her feet aren't touching the ground. I think that's pretty much was like my favorite part of the movie, but pretty cool. Add it to the collection for $1. Now I picked up this randomly for $1, The Deadly Bees. For some reason I thought it was like a newer animal attack movie, but no, actually it's pretty old. If you check out the back, you could see that it's an older movie, like 70s or something like that. So it's not a new movie, it's an old movie, but pretty cool. Add it to the horror collection. Now I own the ultimate Blu-ray collection of Mad Max, so I do have Fury Road on Blu-ray, but I do not own it on DVD. So I went ahead and picked it up for $1. Charlize Theron as Furiosa. Tom Hardy, one of my favorite newer actors, as Max. I have seen this a couple times, but I haven't rewatched it as much as I watched the older ones with Mel Gibson. But I'll be happy to put this in and hit repeat and just let it play all throughout the day and just keep like coming in, coming out, checking it out. So pretty cool. Now I own multiple copies of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but I do not own this cool like gray cased with the insert collection. So I think I have the steel one, I have the regular release. So it was $1 as well, you know, all these were $1. So we'll go ahead and add it to the Arnold collection, which is always growing. One of my favorite parts of my collection actually is my Arnold and my Sylvester Stallone shelf. But sometimes you don't realize this, but sometimes these DVD releases, the special ones, they have different features on each one, and you pop them in and you'll see different things. Like I popped this one just to check it out, and it just starts and then it goes right into the menus and it shows like a factory, like a Terminator factory. But the other one I have, the steel one, when you pop it in, it says like artisan, I think it says artisan, and then it like turns into like that liquid metal, and then it like goes into like like a forge pot, and then so it's just different. You never know what you'll find. Interesting. Now this, another one I don't own, but Quentin Tarantino presents the Hero with Jet Li. With the slip, a buck added to the martial arts collection. Now this is a movie I do not know anything about. I know that what's his name? William Hurt is in it, and I remember being a little kid and I would like see it on like in the newspaper, like on the TV Guide or something like that. I would see Kiss of the Spider Woman, and for some reason I would think it was like Spider Woman, like Marvel, like Spider-Man's cousin, but I know it's not. It's a different movie. Like I said, I don't really I'm not sure what this is about, but I mean, don't judge me. I just pick up weird movies like this. But what was cool is that this is actually kind of rare. The cheapest one I think was like 20 bucks, and there's Blu-rays, but they're like 30 bucks. So I picked it up for $1, so I was pretty happy with that. Actually, it was pretty cool. I had a clear case. I have to watch it and check it out, but for now, we'll add it to the collection. I picked up some random movie with Gina Gershon. You can't go wrong with her. Black and white. Like some kind of crime drama thing. But I'm pretty sure I could just watch her and that'll get me through the movie. But add it to the crime section. Check it out. Picked up another weird like crime movie, Blood Brothers. There's not really no actors in here that I know, but it's from that company, like Eve or something. Eve or something. It has like a tree. But I collect those. Like when I see them, it doesn't matter what it is, I'll pick it up because I have a pretty big collection of these. So add that one to it. Some random movie, like a double feature, but this one has Rob Lowe and Joe Mantegna, and this one has Esai Morales and Michael Ironside. What is it? For Hire and Southern Cross. Don't know much about them, but I will add them to the crime suspense section. The last DVD I picked up was I kind of used to watch this. You know what? I have all this whole series on DVRs. I haven't watched them in years, but I do have them. But I just ran across it for $1. I just picked it up for the superhero collection, and that's X-Men Evolution. This one is Powers Revealed. Basically, what I know about this series is that I love the Wolverine that they did in this series. I love his costume. I love like the way he talks. He's not like short and stocky, which he's supposed to be. He's like a little bit lanky. I guess that was some of the influence from like the movies that were going on with Hugh Jackman. But I do enjoy this series. It's okay. If you look at it now, it's kind of out of date because it's like early 90s. But like I said, the Wolverine in this is awesome. One time I was looking for a figure just of the Wolverine from this, so I might go ahead and do that because I've never had one. So specifically, I might go online and look for a Wolverine from this series figure. Pretty cool. So there is more of these like snapbacks, because when I was watching this, they had a commercial where they had all the DVDs that they let out, so I might end up hunting them down.
'Cause I'm crazy.
And I did pick up one VHS. Now the VHS this week was The Devil at Your Heels. It's in there. Now, I didn't know a lot about this, but I went ahead and looked into it. And this is about a Canadian stuntman named Ken Carter. And he was really crazy. They called him the Madman of Canada. And he would do like crazy rocket jumps. And he was pretty crazy. Since he was young, he was doing crazy stunts. And he actually ended up passing away on a jump. Like trying to do the jump. I think he overshot the ramp and he ended up landing upside down and he got killed. And they do have like documentaries and stuff about his life, but when I first picked this up, I didn't know anything about it. I just looked it up on my phone and there was hardly any VHSs for sale. I think there was like 3. So for $1, I went ahead and picked it up. Just some random stuff. You never know, it might be a pretty cool tape just to check out. But anyways guys, that's The Devil at Your Heels, the VHS. And that's it for the haul. Don't forget, everybody, be safe out there on the 4th of July. Next week, gonna keep on hitting the grind. But for now, that's it. See you on the next one.